What's good, Commanders family? I am Brian Colbert Jr., and this is Season 2 of the Next Man Up podcast. Jayden Daniels pulls up and talks about being named the QB1 and what his expectations are for this season. And then we got a legend in the building. That's right, Doug Williams pulls up to talk about Jayden Daniels, but also to talk about giving back to the game that he loves so much. That's all now on Next Man Up. Two, three. What's good, Commanders family? Brian Colbert Jr. here, and this is the Next Man Up podcast, where we talk to your favorite Commanders players, not so much about the X's and O's, more about the player under the helmet. And our Next Man Up is no one better than our new name starting quarterback, rookie Jayden Daniels. Jayden, good to see you, brother.
You too, my guy.
Yeah, appreciate you having you here, man. We're going to get right into it because you were just named the starter, man. So I need you to take me back there, man. Where were you at? When did you find out? Tell me everything.
Yeah, it was on Monday. I was chilling in the quarterback room, talking with Charlie.
PR guy.
Yeah, PR guy, Charlie, PR guy. We were over talking about Lakers and Knicks basketball stuff. Next thing you know, DQ just walked in, and he was like, I talked to Jayden, and from there we kind of just having a conversation about, my routine and stuff like that, and then he tried to slide it under there. But that's when I found out.
Yeah, man. What was that like, man? Because it sounds like when Dan Quinn talks, he's just so casual and chill about everything.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
What was your first thought when he hit you? Like, just slid it in, like, hey, you want me to start it?
Oh, okay. Like, but it didn't really register in my mind. I was kind of thinking about my routine and stuff like that, and then from there I was like, oh. And then we had a conversation. I was just telling him, thank you, appreciate all that.
And when that did settle, when you really realized, like, the moment, who was the first person you called to share the news with?
Yeah, I called my mom, told her first, and then called my dad and told him. So it was the two I told everybody else. I had to keep it under wraps until it came out.
I mean, you had to have been dreaming about that moment your entire life, man. So now that you've been there, now you're on the back end of it, because it's hard to really be in the moment during those times. What was that moment for you, man? What was going through your head, man? What sat in with you?
Yeah, I don't think it kind of hit me until I got home. Kind of able to gather my thoughts, but it was a very surreal moment because growing up, loving the game of football, watching NFL Sunday, you see one of the 32 out there, playing quarterback. So I always dreamt of being one, and I'm grateful I had the opportunity to be one of those.
You talk about dreaming of being that starting quarterback. When do you think that dream hit, when you're like, this is what I want to do? I want to be an NFL player.
Yeah, it started very young. I want to say like 8, 9 years old, kind of around the time when I started playing football.
Wow.
And then you kind of venture off, and then I got into the basketball phase, and then kind of like 8th grade, going to high school is kind of where I was like, okay, I could really do something with this football thing, take it very serious. And that's when around the time I put that on my wall, I'll play in the NFL. I didn't know where I get drafted to. I just knew that I had the opportunity to play in the NFL.
And now you're here, man. Now we've seen you for 2 preseason games. So I want to take it back. We're going to talk a little bit about the future, but I want to take it back a little bit. Talk about that first preseason game. Pull up in the Doug Williams jersey.
Yeah.
Going viral. Now, I know you've been asked this before, but I really want to know, why was that so important for you to take this moment? It's all about you now. This is your first NFL game, but you took this moment to pay homage to somebody that's done it before you. Why was that so important?
It's actually crazy. I'm in my closet. I'm trying to think about, okay, what I'm going to wear.
Laying out the first day of school fit.
Yeah, I'm in the closet thinking about what I'm going to wear. And then I remember Fanatics, when I went up there for rookie premiere, they sent me a Doug Williams jersey.
Wow. So
it's just in my closet. I was like, it wasn't like, okay, I knew, what Doug did here, what he means to this franchise, this organization, and what he means for me. Being a mentor, being somebody I could go and talk to that looks like me, that's done it here. So be able to go out there and throw on that jersey and, just represent him, especially in the first one where I knew a lot of eyes were going to be on me, especially walking through for my first preseason game, man. It just meant a lot to pay homage to show him the respect that he deserves.
And not everybody gets to walk into a building with guys like Doug Williams, guys like Santana Moss, these legends that have stayed here for you guys and for these players. What game have you gotten from Doug Williams leading up to that preseason game that made you say, you know what, this is a guy I'm going to be able to talk to about anything?
Man, just go out there and be me, like he tells me all the time. Just be you. You don't have to go out there try to be anybody else, do anything out of the ordinary. To go out there, play your game. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why God bless you to be here. So those kind of the biggest main points I take away from talking with him.
Well, man, you ain't waste no time showing us why you belong in that field, man. That first drive, very interesting. We talked to Austin Eckler after that first drive, and I asked him, I was like, yo, what was he like in that pocket? And he kind of revealed to us that, you checked out of a play because you saw something there and you wanted to make an audible and make a play in your own words, because a lot was made of that, right? Even Dan Quinn talked about it in your own words, man. What was that moment like, and what made you say, you know what, after this incomplete pass, I'm going to go chuck it down the field?
It was kind of crazy because, the whole week it was like, it's just arguing back. I'm like, man, I kind of came. I was like, man, just let me throw it deep. Cliff and DQ and all them, kind of we're gonna
ease
save
you
it.
into it, right? Yeah.
So called the screen on third down, and it wasn't the look that I wanted or anybody wanted. So I know over there at Cliff's head, he's like, man, he's about to check it. Because I'm like, I seen it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm about to check it. So I did, and to be able to kind of like, I guess in a sense, Cliff's like, man, you manifested this in a sense.
You did.
So, I guess so. But it was just funny. That's why I pointed to the sideline after, because I know in their head it was like, no, we didn't want you to do it, but we're happy about the result and stuff like that. So it was fun.
As a rookie, how much comfortability does that give you, knowing that even in those moments where you're maybe doing something that they said, hey, man, maybe this isn't a good idea, but knowing that they still trust you to do the right thing, man, how important is that for a rookie?
Man, it's the biggest thing. Shows me they have my back. They trust me and believe in me. So that's a huge thing, and that's what they preach here.
Yeah, and then right after that, man, you go and get your first NFL touchdown. And, a lot of people in those moments hit a little celly, little dance, cheer with their teammates, maybe even their coaches. And everybody was going crazy. I was on the sideline, too. All of us are yelling and going crazy. You run past everybody. Go to the stands. Go find your mom and give her that football. Why was that so important for you to do that in that moment?
It was huge. I remember pregame, she was on the sideline. I look over and I go over, she like, she getting emotional because she she seen me. This is a dream of mine that now she can see it become reality. So I know she get emotional. And obviously shout out to Terry, because I don't know what, I blacked out. So I didn't even have the ball. So he gave me the ball. First thing I seen her right there. So just throw the football, man. It meant a lot.
Yeah, man. And your mom and your other family, they're there every game, road game, home game that's coming up, man, training camp. They just show up for you and they support you. Even though they're not from here, they're not from here at all. How important is that to have them a part of this journey with you? Man,
it's huge. Support center is nothing. No matter how good I play, no matter how bad I play, man, they're going to still love me the same. They're going to always support me, always have my back. So it's huge for them to be able to be a part of this journey.
Man, and now you're in it, man. 2 games in, bruh. Nothing's new for you anymore, right? Now you're in it. You're going to have your first NFL game on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What are you expecting from yourself in that first game? Have you set expectations for yourself, or are you just going out there and let it fly?
Man, go out there and let it fly. It wouldn't be no expectations for me. Try to do everything in my power to help lead the team to a win. That's the main thing. That's the main focus. We want to start out 1-0.
And everybody talks about, even right now I'm sitting here talking to you, and everybody said it. You're wise beyond your years, man. You talk like somebody that's been here before, not like a rookie. But what are those challenges you faced so far being here, and how have you overcome those challenges?
DQ, the whole staff, even the veterans, they've done a great job, not just with myself, but all the rookies, making us feel as part of the team, not making us feel like, we're a rookie. So whether that's leadership-wise, picking your spots, knowing what, be able to go out there and talk to them and be able to just talk about, life and talk about, football. And the main person I talk to other outside of Marcus is Bobby Wagner. Me and him are from the same area. So, we have that in common, and as we get to know each other more, we have a lot in common. So be able just to pick his brain about things that he's seen or, quarterbacks he's been with in his career and stuff like that.
And you both are Cali kids, like you mentioned Bobby Wagner. And you mentioned hoops, man. You a Laker fan?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, no doubt. And I have to ask because, man, every time you came out in training camp, you had a basketball. People were just amazed. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback warm up with a basketball, man. Where does that come from, and why is that something you've added to your game?
Yeah, that's something I've done for a while. It's just kind of like tricking your mind. Obviously a basketball is bigger than a football. So we just dribble around basketball, shoot it, things like that. And then when I pick up the football, it's just smaller in my hand. It feels smaller in my hand, stuff like that.
So you hoop a little bit?
Yeah, I'm better than Bobby Wagner.
No, I think Bobby, everybody that sat in this chair have claimed they are the best Commanders player, but you going to take that crown?
I'm better than Bobby Wagner.
That's all you care about. As long as you better than Bobby, that's
better
good.
than Bobby Wagner. Take what the information you want to do.
Well, man, we're going to let you go. Before we let you go, man, we all have goals. you've achieved a very big goal by getting drafted, by becoming a starter, by making it into the NFL. What is your goal now for this season?
Be the best version of myself each and every day. No matter the good or the bad, ups and the downs, be able to go out there and, the other players could look at me like, man, Jayden's consistent. He's consistent with his work ethic, with everything, how he take care of his body, stuff like that, and then try to figure out a way to get better each and every day.
Hey, Jayden, we can't wait to see you improve, man. Congratulations on all your success so far, man. We're excited to see this journey. We appreciate you taking the time with us, bro.
Appreciate you.
And, of course, we can't talk to our rookie quarterback without bringing in a legend that pioneered the entire game. Welcoming in former Super Bowl MVP, former Super Bowl champion, the first African-American quarterback to play in a Super Bowl game, a true Washington legend, Mr. Doug Williams. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, real good.
Oh, man, I appreciate you being here, man.
My pleasure being here.
And we started off, I said it, the first black quarterback to play in a Super Bowl. Last season, 14 of 32 teams started a black quarterback. You were the pioneer for that. What is it like seeing the league now?
Well, I think what has happened, the league as a whole has evolved. It's not about the color of your skin. It's about who could play. Yeah. And that's the part I like about it. Anytime during the playoffs, if there was a black quarterback in the playoffs, reporters would always call me and ask me what I think about that. Now they don't have to call me to ask me that because there's a chance that it's going to be 1, 2, maybe 3, and sometimes 4 in the playoff. And I think that's the way it should be. Don't judge somebody by the character of their skin, but what they can do and what they can do for the team and for the city and things like that. And I think what has happened, all these young guys that are out there now, is playing football. Yeah. Not because they're black, because they can play and they're the best person that they can put in that position, and that's what makes me feel good.
And it's nice to sit here and look back in hindsight, right, because we can say how much has changed. But while you were in it, did you feel that the league would turn into this because you were in the trenches of it, being somebody that has done something that's never been done before? Did you see the league turning into this?
No, I don't think anybody could see that, that time, because the way the time was back then, being one of the few at that time. James Harris was in the league, but he wasn't that starting quarterback. Right. And then Vince Evans came. He was in Chicago. Matter of fact, Vince and myself played in the first game that 2 African-American quarterback ever played in 1979 against the Bears. I remember that one like it was yesterday because it was a big thing. It was a big write-up. Right. And today times, that's not a big thing. It's a team. It's not the quarterback. It's the team who are playing each other. And I think it's good that we've gotten to that point because at the end of the day, we all got to live here, we all got to play here, and everybody got to be respected for what they do.
And Mr. Doug, it's not just that you're a pioneer during the game. After the game, you've dedicated your whole life to football, helping people, mentoring people, helping the next generation come up and be better football players. Why was that so important for you to do that after your playing career?
Well, I was fortunate growing up. Number one, I had an older brother who was actually, is my mentor, gonna always be my mentor. And he was the one that really got me into playing football because football wasn't my first nature. Basketball and baseball was what I really wanted to do. And he just so happened to be a coach at my high school. He was a junior high coach. And I was 8th grade. And he became the junior high football coach, and he gave me an ultimatum. He said, I'm going to either play football or whip him. So I ended up playing football.
They sound like you made a good decision there.
Yes. But football been good to me. That's the good part about it. The 4 years that I was at Grambling State University, nothing like playing at Grambling for Coach Eddie Robinson and the guys that I played with. I had some great guys to play with, and being drafted by Tampa, going there for 5 years and playing, and then going to USFL for 2. And the one coach that was at Tampa was Joe Gibbs. Yeah. And then, he came to Washington, and after the USFL folded, there's only one other coach called me, and that was Joe Gibbs, and that's why I'm here today. And, I'm thankful for Coach Gibbs and the blessing that's been bestowed upon me. And you talk about a spiritual guy. Nobody's more spiritual than Coach Gibbs for what he told me in 1987 right after preseason.
What did he tell you?
I've been traded. 1987, we went to L.A. We played a preseason game against the Rams. We came here. I had a pretty good game. And we got off the airplane at Dulles Airport. Him and Bobby Beth was at the bottom of the steps. And he told me, he said, hey, we made a deal for you. We traded you to the Raiders. And I said, oh, Coach, thank you. I'm talking about the Raiders. They, I think every little kid growing up was a Raider fan. Whether they
I know I was.
Whether they want to admit it or not, it was something about that silver and black. So I told Coach, "Thank you, Coach." And he said, "Look, come by the office about 11:30, and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it." And I went to the apartment and packed my bags, called everybody in Zachary, Louisiana, and told them I was going to be a Raider. And when I came over to the office, I went to his office. And if you know Coach Gibbs, he might not do it at this stage, but he had this funny laugh. He looked at me and he said, "Ha ha, I changed my mind." And I said, "Coach," I said, "you can't change your mind." And at that time, he snapped at me. He said, "Hey, I don't work for the Raiders. I work for the Washington Redskins." So I just sat back in my chair. And then he told me this is the honest God truth. He said, "Look, I got a feeling." And Coach Gibbs, one of them guys, you play with Coach Gibbs, he always have a gut feeling. And he said, "I got a feeling." He said, "I got a feeling that somewhere along this line this year, you're going to come in here and we're going to win this thing."
Wow.
At that time, it didn't mean nothing to me. You got to understand that. He just busted my bubble.
Because you in your head, you were going to Oakland.
It wasn't what's going to happen at the end of the year. I wasn't looking. I was too far away. But it wasn't nothing I can do. I got out the chair, went downstairs, and whatever meetings I had to go to, went to the meeting. And, at the end of the year, everything came true. I met him at the door going into the locker room, and the first thing he told me, he said, "I told you, didn't I?" I said, "Yes, you did, Coach."
Wow.
And, I never will forget that. This man told me this before the season ever started in 1987.
Wow.
And it all came true.
And it's crazy because, Coach Gibbs was that belief for you, that mentor for you, like you said, that guidance. And you have chosen to be that for a lot of players. And now you're in a very interesting situation here because you get to be a guide to a rookie quarterback in Jayden Daniels. Now let's go back to that first preseason game we had. He walks out in the jersey, looking good in the Doug Williams jersey. Did you know that was going to happen, or was that a surprise to you?
Let me tell you, going into the stadium, players ride on the players' bus.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm on the bus with all the coaches, And when I got off the bus, I sat there and let everybody get off. When I got off the bus, I'm looking at 17. I said, "Oh, man, this boy done broke out a Doug Williams jersey." To me, that was ultimate respect that anybody could ever pay, And I didn't ask him why he put it on. I remember Dan flying back after the game. Dan looked at me and he said, "How cool is that?" But it kind of tells you who Jayden Daniels really is as an individual. I think we're lucky we got a guy like Jayden Daniels who don't have any diva to him.
Yeah.
He get along with everybody. Come to work. He come to work. You come here at 6:30 in the morning, I promise you'll find his car in the parking lot.
Yep.
That's who he is, and I think it says a lot about how he was raised and how he respect people that came before him.
And Jayden had nothing but great things to say about you, calling you a mentor, calling you somebody that has been looking out for him even before he got into this building. Talk to me about your relationship with Jayden and the history you guys have, because I don't think a lot of people realize y'all go way back.
Well, I think the only thing you can say, you call a guy when he's playing. I mean, it's not like you can tell him what to do or what have you because you're not coaching him.
Right.
No, it's just like in this building, I'm not coaching him, but my thing is, like I walk by him sometime and he said, "Hey, Doug." I say, "What's up, Jayden?" And then sometime I walk up to him and say, "Hey, man, you got to learn how to slide." Just give him some good advice.
I'm sure everybody appreciates
from that
that
standpoint. But no, it's just a matter of calling a guy and not staying on the phone a long time. Just call him, let him know that you looking at him, you care about him, you want him to do good. And I think that's what it's all about.
And you've been a rookie quarterback before, man. What advice can you give him and have you given him as he approaches being a starting quarterback for week 1 against your Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Well, you know what? When I look at Jayden doing this training camp, man, I put myself in that position. I don't know whether I was as calm, cool, and collected as Jayden has been. You watch this kid, man, he don't get rattled. He don't put himself in no rush. He does everything right. And when he doesn't do it right, he want to come back and do it again. I don't know whether when I became a starting quarterback in Tampa, I was like that. I probably was a little more nervous than he is today, But a lot of things has involved, and I just watch him, man. I watched the game, the last preseason game. You just watch him, how the ball comes out of his hand. He's not jittery, jumping back there, trying to get it out of his hand. He know what he's doing.
Yeah.
It comes out in a timely manner. He know how to place the ball where it's supposed to be. I mean, Jayden just do so many things so well. It's hard to even look at something that he doesn't do well.
And I think we're all happy about that. We're all happy to have Jayden, and we're really happy to have somebody like you here to mentor him. Now, like I said, He's going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers week 1. Now, I'm assuming you're going for burgundy and gold. You rocking with us.
Well, the thing about it, you go down to Tampa, I'm fortunate enough to have, my name in both stadiums.
Yeah, there you go.
And there. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, there's only one team that I'm pulling for.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the Washington Commanders.
We love that, Doug. Thank you so much for your time. And before I let you go, everybody has expectations. What is a successful season for the Washington Commanders this year?
Wow. I'm not going to throw any numbers out, but I think the way this year has been in training camp, the way everybody's been busting their behind to get everything done, I'm looking for a really competitive year, more competitive than I've been. I've been here, I'm been here a long time, going on my 11th year. And this is the first time I've seen a team like this as hustle. They out there every day. They enthusiasm. Everything is on the move. It's a great feeling. Let me say that. And whatever happened this year is because of what they've done on the field, and the coaches and everybody has instilled into these players.
Mr. Doug, man, there's nothing more I can add to that, man. That was beautifully put, and we thank you so much for your time. You pulled up to the first episode of season 2 of Next Man Up, man. So thank you so much for being a part of this. Commanders family, Brian Colbert Jr. here with Mr. Doug Williams. This is the Next Man Up podcast. We'll catch y'all next Friday. Thank you, Mr. Doug.
My pleasure.
Scratch is so nice, gotta hear it.